I don't know, I can't tell you what kind of screams these were, but they were words. They were words because the chopper did not go straight up, it went like this.
Yeah, it went like this.
Not really surprised, but then I figured that I can sometimes not try and act.
Tunuk.
Okay.
Tunuk is a Marathi word for sharpness, being sharp.
Oh, okay.
So you have to be aware that anything you're saying is going to be sensitive and emotional for a lot more people. So you either resonate their emotion, or you kind of, if you're going to counter it, you counter it with some really hard, interesting fact.
Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj is God, and it's a very sacred space.
Today, if you ask me, still today my favorite show is Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
And that's a show that has been a long time back.
I want to start off by saying that real life में तो हम सब ने treasure hunt खेला है, लेकिन it is time to witness the real life treasure hunt with the team of the
Secret of the Shiledars.
Yes, I wanted them to say it. Hi guys, welcome to Radio Nasha.
Hi. How are you?
You know, I must say that I've seen the trailer and I'm so excited because this seems to be something way different. We've never seen it before. So Aditya, I want to start off by asking you that this is a book adaptation, right?
Yes.
So how did the story come to you, and was it particularly difficult to actually, do the exact adaptation from the book?
So the book came to me, the producers approached me, they had the rights of the book and they said, you read it, if you feel it's good enough, we can take it forward. And I took my time to read it because I wanted to kind of really envision it there. When I'm reading it, it comes or it does not to you. And when I was reading this, I could see it unfold. And it was so exciting that I said, okay, this is something I would love to do, and let's take it. And Hotstar team was very excited about it equally, and then we felt, okay, this is a great match. So it started from there, but there were a lot of challenges of adaptation because it's a pretty vast and a pretty detailed book, and we were doing 6 episodes of 30-35 minutes each, so we had to really curtail a massive book into episodic forms. And also the locations and the way the book is written, it had to be kind of brought into a certain cinematic form. So that process took a long time. It took me a good 2 years when we were writing this book and adapting it before we went on floor. But then it's been a lot of fun executing this and doing adventure and going to these crazy locations and shooting there.
I can totally imagine. What made you want to say yes to this project?
The fact that you just said that it is different. And it is genuinely different. Each time you come up with a project and you say,
ये थोड़ा अलग है,
ये genuinely अलग है, ये कुछ अलग, ये genuinely अलग है, इसका look अलग है, इसका feel अलग है, इसकी storytelling अलग है, इसका treatment अलग है, इसमें performances अलग हैं, ऐसे बहुत ही अलग है.
But your character, बताइए मुझे, what is the most challenging scene for both of you to shoot? I know there was a lot of action. I've seen you guys just climbing and everything.
There were a lot of challenging moments in the series. The biggest challenge was to give the same emotion in 6 different degrees.
So, okay, so here it is. What Rajeev is saying is, you have to, when you go through an emotion without it visibly seeing, you're seeing treasure, but you're not seeing it.
Yeah.
I have to make him imagine it, and I have to tell him that, okay, get that kind of a shock or an excitement on your face, and if he's doing it, but I'm telling him, Rajeev, I need to see more because there's a lot more treasure there.
This is first episode. Now this is 3rd episode. The story is progress.
At what point do you see what? And how excited are you?
Now I said, okay, fine. Which degree of excitement? This degree of excitement. Then it goes up.
Right.
But for me, the most challenging or the most was the climax. I can't give you the climax, but that was actually something
very challenging.
Very challenging in a sense. It was also exhilarating because you played the right kind of music and all of that stuff was happening. I was imagining, and I had to imagine, and I actually felt. By the way, I didn't tell you that I was getting goosebumps each time I was doing it.
You were doing. We were getting goosebumps watching you do it.
Anyway,
I can't wait to watch it
now.
now.
I didn't know this.
I was.
Sai, for you?
I think imagination part was very challenging, like very, very challenging. Sometimes, things are going to go VFX and you have to imagine a certain point, or you have to look somewhere and think ki kya ho raha hai. That was the biggest hurdle for me, and
the biggest hurdle, your biggest hurdle was also to sit in the chopper and go up in the air. She was so scared.
The chopper took off, and I had my headphones on because I could hear them talk, and I could not see them because the chopper kind of it went up, but I could hear her kind of screaming. And I don't know, I can't tell you what kind of screams these were, but there were words.
Yeah.
There were words because the chopper did not go straight up; it went like this.
Yeah, it went like this.
Those are called expletives.
Expletives words kind of just came out, and I'm like listening to her on the headphone. I'm like, what the hell is going on there? But man, it was. I'm sure it was quite scary.
Challenging.
Yeah. It was
Challenging
nice.
and scary.
Oh my
And all of this being recorded by Ashish sir on his.
On his
Ashish
phone?
sir on his no, he used to have this
Vlog
camera.
cam.
Yeah.
Vlog
Vlog
cam.
cam.
Yes.
So the vlog cam came up. So I could see the vlog cam come up, but I could not see what he's shooting because they were sitting behind him.
Okay, this is the BTS I really want to see.
Oh man, this is crazy.
And my expressions are intact, but something is happening inside.
Then this took off because they had no idea what's going to happen. The chopper just took off and at speed. Yeah.
I'm sure this VFX is also more challenging for you as a director, right? How do you navigate that?
No, it's VFX is what? See, VFX is a tool to create your vision on camera, right? It's just to give you what you see, what you imagine. It's there to put it out there. So in fact, it's great. I think it's not a hurdle or a it's not something that scares me. I think I always look at VFX as something that fascinates me to a point where I need to know every time when I'm executing something. And if I don't know how to do it, I will go deep into it and try to study and catch hold of people who will kind of do it for me. So every time we shot this, we had to extend locations, extend sets, create 3D objects in it. It was fascinating that these designs I used to show them and I used to show them on my phone. Okay, this is how it's going to come, and executing that is a very post-production thing.
Right.
And for me, the best phase of making anything is the post-production. So I enjoy my post-production. I take my time and I spend my time there. So it is fun, but I also feel now it's easier than what it was earlier because of AI. The tools help you visualize better, but just references. I don't use AI to execute. I use AI as a very initial tool for references. So yeah, that has made my life a lot more easier.
For the two of you, your journey while shooting this series, right? Was there something that actually surprised you as an actor, that you did it and you're like, oh my God, I never knew I could do this? Because you've done so many projects, the two of you. Something that surprised you?
Not really surprised, but then I figured that I can sometimes not try and act. You don't have to think of acting all the time. You just have, sometimes it's just about understanding what somebody wants and just being in the line of the story.
Right.
Otherwise, most of the times you take too much of stress in your head that I have to deliver it in a certain manner. You have your own ways of looking at it. But sometimes it is much nicer to just be there, be instinctive, and take the story forward. Because this particular series is all about the storytelling.
Right.
I think his performance will overshadow our performance because the story is such.
Right.
This is about storytelling. This is not about. It's not. I mean, it is about characters, but it is not. It is more about the story. It's about the treasure hunt. It's about how the story intertwines itself with history, etc. So this was a discovery of sorts for me that you can really go and have fun. Yeah, you can do much.
For you, Sai?
For the longest time, I could not crack Priyal.
Okay.
And one fine day, I just coined a term. It's in Marathi, but that sort of summed that character, and that, I mean, it was a portal to Priya. I think that word that I had coined of that tunuk.
Okay.
Sunuk is a Marathi word for sharpness, being sharp.
Oh, okay.
So I think that word did it for me, which I was really, I was having a hard time cracking Priyal. But that one word, sometimes ऐसे problem solve हो जाती है आप unexpectedly. Right. So yeah, that happened with me.
Amazing. I had this question for the three of you, that it's reels ka zamana, right? So the attention span of the audience is very, very short. And is zamane mein, how do you think a series like this, when you say it's history, it's going to keep people engaged and be on their toes throughout?
I mean, that was the most challenging part for us. In fact, to kind of keep history not as maybe more of something that I'm trying to force upon you.
Okay.
It is not where I am teaching you history. I'm telling you history through a story.
Right.
So the story needs to have those high points where history has to be seated in there. And it is very challenging when people just swipe up after every 15 seconds. Yeah. But it's also something that I have known that people will sit through a 2-3 hour film if it really holds their attention.
True.
So your mind kind of moves in that direction, where I've seen people sit through Pushpa, and it's a 3.5-hour film, 4-hour movie.
Yeah.
But I've seen people get up in an hour in a film that bores them and just walk off. So it's actually the story, the power of the story, and how you kind of really present it, and that's what it's all about. So.
Yeah, for me the same, in a sense. If there are people who are swiping up in less than 10 seconds, there are people who are watching content for hours also.
Yeah.
So it's, like you said, it's about storytelling, and there is no other way, I mean, to hold people back. There are no tools. There are no tools that you can employ that, okay, these are tried and tested tools, employ that and people will watch it for those many hours. I think it's just the art of storytelling. And it could be a very slow burn as well.
Yeah.
It could be a slow burn, but the talent lies in actually holding them on that slow burn also.
You know, but now because we are talking about this, I have realized that the biggest tool that a filmmaker has in long format is the power of emotion. Where on a reel, you're watching it just for the thrill of it. You know, it either has to be funny or it has to get your attention for that
It's like
bit.
mindless scrolling.
But you never emotionally connect to a 15-second reel. But with the story longer format, if your emotion is connected to the character in the first 10 minutes, then you will go anywhere and everywhere with the character.
You're invested. You're
yeah.
True. You know, when you say emotions, I think the whole of Mumbai roars every time you say Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, right? And I also know for the fact that I think Marathi film industry has explored all mediums in just showing the legacy of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. And then now you see that Bollywood is also adapting to it with, say, Tanhaji and Chhawa coming up. But people can get a little sensitive when it comes to these facts, right? You don't want to go wrong in saying the real truth. So what is the kind of fact check that you had to do and make sure that people's emotions are intact regarding Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj?
I totally depended on a lot of research that the book did, because that helped us. But when I wanted to present it in a Hindi form, because that was a Marathi book, you have to be very, very particular about what are you saying, how you're saying it, and when you're saying it. Also, it's very important that you are responsible before you put out any quotes or any statements about the past, the history, and not only Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, also about the Maratha legacy and about the Maratha Empire and his soldiers. So you have to be aware that anything you're saying is going to be sensitive and emotional for a lot more people. So you either resonate their emotion, or you kind of, if you're going to counter it, you counter it with some really hard, interesting facts. And if you don't have those facts with you, I think you stay away from it. So half-hearted attempt at this is not great. With a full conviction, you go and people will understand. So we have a few ideas in this story that we presented, which are some the things that people have never thought of, people had never known of. Now how people are going to accept it and like it, our version of a bit of a twist to this history, I am really excited to see.
Wow, amazing. Sai, you are part of the Marathi industry, right? What is your earliest memories of listening to all of this history about Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj?
Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj is God. And it's a very sacred space. It's a very... but with this series, I was really keen to know how he was as a person. Because we've not really focused on his nature or the human side of him. So today, when I watch this, I'm sure I'm going to do my research on how was he as a person. And I think, you know, image होती है, हमारा एक perception होता है, उसके आगे चल के भी कुछ होता है. So I got intrigued to know more about Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj.
You know, Aditya, you had such an amazing theatrical success with Munjya, right? I want to understand, as a director and for you as actors, when a movie releases in the theatre, you know that box office numbers talks about the success of it. But it's the same thing. Is it the same thing when it releases on an OTT platform? Because there's no monetary thing that is involved here, right? So measure of success क्या है आप तीनों के लिए?
मेरे लिए word of mouth है. If people come to me and tell me, watch this is exciting, I think that is the success of what it is. I'll tell you what, there have been shows and stuff that I never knew of also that have just come out from nowhere and become big. And it all is because people have recommended those to me. I've never gone to see, with films, it's not the same exactly. If it's a film doing well, you fear of missing out on it and you go and watch it. With a show, you know it's there, but somebody or someone you know or you trust has to really kind of promote it to you, कि ये देखो ये बहुत अच्छा है, then you go and give it a shot. So I think there's so much of variety of content now on social media. It's very difficult to pinpoint and select and say कि ये क्या है और वो क्या है, this is good or that is bad. But you go with a certain word of mouth on it that you've heard and you've known of, and then you watch it. So that is my measure of success. That I hope people have seen it and people stay with it.
Right.
And there's a life, like there's a life to it that's longer, you know.
True.
Today, if you ask me, still today my favorite show is Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
And that's a show that has been a long
Yeah.
time back. So
Yeah. And you can always rewatch it,
always,
right?
so that power of content on social OTT platforms is big.
Yeah. See?
For me, how much ever the PR teams and can go out and just say that #1 show in 10 countries, 12 countries, or top trending and #1, it doesn't work for me. Because if people around me, if my friends who are not in touch with me regularly, if I don't get messages or mails or phone calls from random people, I would know that this all is fake.
Right.
So, like for example, I mean, my own shows where people say, "आपने किया है," and I know, boss, तुम कितना भी मुझे बेवकूफ़ बना लो कि इतना देखा है, इतने लोगों ने देखा है, ये है, यहाँ ट्रेंड कर रहा है. But in my building, nobody came to me and then said it. But there are shows where people you travel abroad, people in the airlines, aircraft में आपको मिलते हैं, आप कहीं और जाते हो मिलते हैं लोगों को, people who are abroad, they meet you and they tell you, sir, वो देखा, मजा आ गया. You know it, that has worked. Now, I may not have amplified that noise, but I know it genuinely works. So that organic way of working works for me. The rest of it can be manufactured. Yeah.
I think OTT's reach is something that I am very, it fascinates me. You are being watched in different countries. So, yeah, I like that.
Wow. Is there this sense of pressure that there is an audience for every genre, right? Right? There was a phase when only romantic movies would work. Then came a phase where only comedy was working. And then now you see that mass drama on screen is working, right? Do you feel that history somewhere will get misplaced, or do you think this is going to be like a comeback?
See, history here is in the form of an action thriller.
Right.
Right? So it's not that people are going to tune in for history only, right? People are going to tune in for the experience.
Right.
So how you present history is going to be very important. And no matter what subject matter it is, eventually if I tell you that I'm going to kind of give you a history lesson, you would be like, Q, why should I watch it? But if I'm going to tell you that, okay, forget the history part of it, watch it for the entertainment it offers, and subconsciously I deliver history to you, then that is something that you will even kind of be so amused and amazed by, that you will kind of like it further. So I feel it is how you do it. But I do also feel that, it's very important where and in what way do you do it. Because every platform also has its audience. Every kind of a show has its audience. Like this show is a very dominant Maratha, Maharashtra driven show, where if it picks up like wildfire here, it catches on everywhere else.
Right.
Because I know if it is appreciated here, I know people everywhere will appreciate it. So there has to be someone who just lifts that button up. And that for every show is important. So I feel when history of a certain region is being represented, that region should kind of really love the show and accept it for what it is first, and then it kind of moves on from there.
I think the prime example for that is Kantara, right?
Yep. See, Kantara became a big hit here when it was also a big hit there.
Yeah.
It started from there. Like you take even Pushpa for that matter, or these films that have really worked here, they've kind of spread from there to here. So now you know about them. But yeah.
I'm hoping the same for this one as well.
I really hope.
Tell me some BTS stories. How was it on the sets? मजा आ रहा था? कौन prankster है आप दोनों में से? या आप दोनों serious हो?
Ye or Gaurav, they are the pranksters, I would say. And the best part was Adi used to have the headphones on. He would hear all our bakwas, all the conversations.
Always was aware.
He was always
privy
aware
to
of
all
what was happening. And we had genuine fun on the set. We really, really enjoyed, because it was all. Also the fact that we were moving from one location to the other every second day. We weren't stationed at one place. We were going to different places, different spaces, different cities. So it was very exciting to be with the same unit, same crew, not just the actors, but also the ADs and the camera team and the production designers team. So we all were like a unit, and we were having a great time. I mean, each time in outdoors we would pack up and we would have our own nights. It was fun.
From day one, not really. From day one, हम दोनों ने हमारी दोस्ती थोपी इनकी, like और
it barged into his vanity.
and we had a massive doubt that last day tak this guy would not budge, but he gave in, and now we
gave
are
up, I would
friends.
say. It's not given, he gave up.
He gave up.
in. No, he gave in, and now we are friends, and we are happy
had a
about
great
it.
unit. Great.
I think we need to continue the fun forward. Starting off with a very simple one.
Okay.
It's a competition, guys.
Oh,
okay.
damn.
Oh, retro, I'm not good at it. Can't tell. Okay.
Okay. A girl runs away from her family only to fall in love with a guy who convinces her to go back to the family.
Beta.
This is a badly explained plot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So if it's badly
And the
explained, then
husband.
It is really badly explained.
the girl runs away from the family only to be convinced by the guy to go back to her original family.
Yeah. So that he can also go there and, patofy the family.
अमोल पालेकर की फिल्म होगी पक्का.
घर जमाएंगे.
अरे DDLJ वाला जोन है.
DDLJ.
Yeah.
DDLJ ही है.
I thought मैं 70s की फिल्म सोच
मैंने
रहा हूँ
बोला
कौन सी है?
70s, 80s,
अच्छा, 90s
90s
भी है
and
इसमें. Okay.
early 2000s.
Okay.
You said you're not good, but
Yeah,
No, no.
first
I knew
point.
it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, next one. Two brothers argue over who should own the family property
Karan Arjun.
while their mother silently judges them.
Two brothers.
Imagine
Mother
mother
judging
is
sons in a
judging the
Hindi
son.
film. Mother the kind of judging the sons. Who
Karan
should
Arjun.
They're
own the
fighting over family property.
family property. Mother India नहीं है.
नहीं,
But mother
यार.
family
हम
property.
सारे
Clue
खराब
चाहिए?
एक
हाँ.
कौन सी family?
Okay, I'll tell you a dialogue, but dialogue बोलने से पता चल जाएगा.
पता चल जाएगा.
मेरे पास माँ है.
Oh,
अरे यार,
दीवार.
दीवार.
Yes.
अच्छा दीवार में family
They were not
property.
fighting over the property.
It's badly explained,
Yeah.
Raj.
But that's what the problem is. मैं property सोच रहा हूँ यार. कौन सी film में property की झगड़े चल रहे हैं?
Okay, another one. Okay, 1 point. Sai, come on, let's do this. Okay. A narcissistic man drives his recently married son out of the house because he dared to marry outside their social class.
Every Hindi film.
Oh God.
It's a multi-star.
Is it a
बच्चन
Govinda
साहब.
film?
ए बच्चन साहब की.
बच्चन
या
साहब
बच्चन साहब की
हाँ,
फिल्म जिसमें
बागबान.
सलमान भी था.
नहीं, not Salman.
नहीं ये सूर्यवंशम है. नहीं सूर्यवंशी. What is that? सूर्यवंशी.
कभी खुशी कभी गम. Ah, yeah.
अरे नहीं, but
Nailed it.
actually the other film I mentioned also is same.
Which one?
Suryavansham. What is that? That was a big super hit on.
Yeah, yeah. It's अभी भी चलता है.
वैसे
रोज
ही
चलता है.
But Mr. Bachchan is playing Mr. Bachchan as both the father
Both
and
the
son.
father
और उनको
and the
निकाल
son.
देते हैं because he marries this girl.
True, true. Okay, another one. Let's go with something.
Curiosity.
Okay, a man is literally dying, but everyone else in this movie is so emotionally messed up that they don't even notice it until the
Kalo
very
Nao.
end.
Yes.
Whoa.
Which one?
Kalo Nao.
I should tell you this. It's a very good film. But I actually thought of exactly this. अरे वो मर रहा है यार. आप उसको अपनी पढ़ी है. किसी को पढ़ी नहीं है. किसकी मर रहा है आदमी तो. I actually thought of this.
Okay, and the last one in this segment, an underqualified man cheats his way into a medical college.
अरे ये मुन्ना भाई.
मुन्ना भाई.
Munna bhai.
That's a well explained actually. It's not badly.
It's not badly.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
not bad, you did it. That's so cool.
Yeah.
The one
How
who
did I
said I'm
do it?
not confident has
Yeah.
actually won this.
Okay.
मैं
Thank
हर
you.
रात को एक फिल्म देखता है by the way. Yeah.
Is it true?
Yeah. Every night I watch a movie.
And is
Every
it
night.
is like a rewatch or something
no,
new
new,
every
new.
night?
I never rewatch
And
anything.
12 o'clock we're shooting. Next day call time 9 बजे का है 7 बजे का है.
For the last 20 odd years, every night I watch a movie.
Wow.
I cannot. I unwind by watching a film, but I never watch one film twice.
Oh, कल रात को कौन सी देखी?
एक
yeah.
सूक्ष्म दर्शनी नाम की फिल्म
Yes,
थी. I
Malayalam
loved it.
movie.
I was telling him in the morning only.
Yeah.
कल रात को देखी, please देखना हो. Lovely film.
Okay, another rapid fire for you. Again, related to retro years. Okay. Your all-time favorite actor, male and female.
देव साहब.
Female.
मीनाक्षी शेषाद्री.
Wow.
Sorry, go.
Govinda Rani Mukherjee.
Perfect.
Mine, Mr. Bachchan and Madhuri Dixit.
Okay. Aditya, if you could cast someone from the retro years for this project, who would be perfect for it?
Retro Hindi industry,
Yes.
right? I think retro years. There's some really good actors, man. But I would love to cast. एक बहुत पुराने जाए तो देव साहब.
I was thinking of this. With his hand.
Man, with his hat and
Had his
swag.
swag, yeah.
I was thinking of an
Yeah,
actor
yeah.
who had that swag. Who would with this mashal. Hey, Vidya Khanna was good looking, but the swag was
Yeah.
only Dev
Dev
Saab.
Saab.
Dev Saab would do it really well, man. One.
And for her character?
For her character, then if Dev Saab is doing it, then Wahida ji. Who else? Because with
Perfect.
Dev Saab, Wahida ji only is the best fit. Yeah.
Okay. One movie that you wish you were a part of from the retro years.
Anand.
Oh.
Very
I wish.
special.
Yeah.
DDLJ.
She wants to run kheton mein.
Whoa. One film that I would want to make,
Yeah.
not be a part of. Which era is this? For me, it's
70s, 80s, 90s. Early 2000s.
Early 2000s,
Yeah.
then there are lots. There's Dil Chahta Hai, there is Swades, there is definitely Anand, there is Bawarji, there is, and for me, I think one of my favorite films is Masoom.
Masoom.
I would
yes.
love to do Masoom and Mr. India.
Mr. India.
Yes.
Iconic.
For me, actually, Mr. India tops the list.
Yeah,
Nothing close to
it
Mr.
does.
India.
Okay. If you guys were stranded on a deserted island and entertainment ke liye you can only have 4 films,
Oh.
which one would it be? Retro years, huh? Only 4 films.
I would, island ke upar ho, I would have watched only Govinda films then.
Only
Yeah,
Govinda.
only Govinda.
Yeah, comedies actually would. Why to sit on the island and be sad?
Exactly. Totally. Yeah.
You
थोड़ा
can be
uplifting the
inspired
mood वाले
also.
देखो.
ठीक है, नाम बता दो गोविंदा वाले.
I would have watched that Anand Kapoor and Govinda film.
Anil Kapoor Govinda se
Yeah,
Deewana
Deewana
Mastana.
Mastana.
Deewana Mastana. All-time favorite film. Then I would have watched Raja Babu.
Nice.
Yeah, I would have watched Govinda Aankheं,
Ah,
and I would have watched कितनी फिल्में उनके दिमाग में अभी 3 चंकी पांडे एंड हिम
Akhe only.
और दूसरी वाली कौन सी थी?
Chunky Pandey.
नहीं,
दूसरी Akhe was the most famous of them.
Yeah, and then there was another one जिसमें अनुपम खेर एंड वो जिसमें वो कैडेट होता है, भाई आता है.
अनुपम के कैडेट होते Chunky Pandey.
नहीं गोविंदा वाज अ कैडेट. इट वाज
अरे हम.
नहीं यार, गोविंदा की बड़ी किक-एस फिल्म थी वो.
Oh shit, cadet कौन सा होता है? I have not seen this movie.
साजन चल ससुराल, let's say.
Nice, good choice.
This is another one. Yeah.
okay, and for you, 4 films.
Gunda.
Gunda.
Okay, no, actually not bad.
Yeah, Gunda.
Mithun's Gunda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Badshah.
Who's Badshah?
शाहरुख
Shahrukh Khan.
All Karishma Kapoor films actually.
Yeah. Oh,
हाँ.
nice.
Yeah.
दुल्हन हम ले जाएंगे.
हम साथ साथ है. हम साथ साथ है.
Yes.
Karishma,
She's
right?
there. She's there.
हाँ.
ABCDFG.
Yeah.
हेरा फेरी भी देख सकते हैं.
हेरा फेरी तो यार.
हाँ. हेरा फेरी भी देख सकते हैं. Yes.
Hera Fairy, but I think Rajkumar Santoshi's iconic comedy.
अंदाज अपना.
अंदाज
And evergreen.
Evergreen. Everyone's
Hera Fairy,
favorite.
Andaz Apna Apna, I would take it a drop of without even a second thought. But I've always been a massive Mukul fan. So Hum, Agnipat, Khuda Gawah, all these films, any of these, yeah.
Wow. Describe yourself with a Bollywood dialogue
Oh my God.
from the retro years.
Describe myself.
जा सिमरन जी ले
जी ले
अपनी
अपनी
जिंदगी.
जिंदगी.
Pushpa, I hate tears. So do I.
Describe myself in dialogue.
खुश तो बहुत.
नहीं. That's not me.
Someone told me
हो गया मैं खुश
recently.
हुआ.
हाँ वो. Someone was like जहाँ हम खड़े होते हैं लाइन वहीं से शुरू होती है.
But that would be not me again.
Okay.
Okay, while he thinks,
Yeah.
I'm going to give you another question, but you have to answer
Yeah,
this. Okay?
please, we
A
want to
song
know.
that describes your life. A theme song for your life.
It's from a movie, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Acha, a song that describes my life.
रुक
Man.
जाना नहीं तू कहीं हार के राहों में.
This is a happy song. Like, it's good.
Describe your life, you know.
Yeah, your
take
life.
chances, yeah.
Yeah.
तुझसे नाराज नहीं जिंदगी.
हैरान है तो.
Philosophical.
I think लकड़ी की काठी काठी पे घोड़ा उड़नी चाहिए. That should be the philosophy of life. So why not?
Amazing. Amazing. Rajeev, we're still waiting for an answer.
Yeah.
अरे यार बहुत सारे मैं क्या
नहीं एक बताओ.
एक डायलॉग तो बता दो.
ये हेल्प करो ना यार.
अरे but
हमने किया
अभी
पर
आप
वो
मेरा
नहीं
हो-
बोल रहे आप.
राजेश खन्ना.
हाँ बाबू मोशाई.
जिंदगी बोल दो आप अपने अंदाज में बोल दो.
बाबू मोशाय.
जिंदगी लंबी होनी
हाँ,
चाहिए.
जिंदगी लंबी होनी चाहिए. नहीं, जिंदगी बड़ी होनी चाहिए. जिंदगी बड़ी होनी चाहिए, लंबी नहीं.
अरे, amazing.
Radio Nasha.